Hey, and welcome back to the Gulf Coast Growth Show. I'm your host, Jason Lee, and I am joined by my co-host, Zeke Smith.
What's up, Jason?
Great to see you. And as always, with the beautiful flower lapel, just on the lapel, it's just so stylish. It's interesting. I wanted to get flowers. I wanted to move to flowers, but then now I can't because
we can switch up
signature thing.
Yeah.
And then we are joined by Marcus Wilkins. I'm excited to have Marcus. I've actually known you for a long time, and our paths would cross every once in a while, but now we're kind of in similar crossing paths that I think I'm going to get to see you more often. You're always a cool guy, so it's always fun to get to spend time with you. And you are the Director of Business Development from Bartlett Cocke. So we're excited to have you guys, you being, I guess, new members in the last year. So excited to really kind of share some stuff about what you guys are doing, what got you to become part of what it is that we're doing over here and why it's a good fit. So before we dive in, welcome. Glad to have you. And would love to talk a little bit about, first of all, why don't you fill us in on who Bartlett Cocke is, since I think this is the first time you guys have been on our show.
Thank you. Well, as you said, I appreciate the opportunity to be on the show. Thank you to both Jason and Zeke here. It's a great opportunity. Bartlett Cocke is 66 years old company. And As a matter of fact, was founded out of San Antonio. That's where our home office is at. We have offices as well in Austin as well as Houston here. Been in both Austin and Houston for about 20 years. The company is actually the namesake of Bartlett Cocke Jr. His father before him was an architect. He started the company and thought a guy in a truck going around and says his story is he just loved to build. And with that was able to start a whole company. And as it goes, things were a little rocky at first, but ultimately he found his footing and found some great projects in San Antonio and was able to grow an entire company around that. And as the story goes, they made it to the 90s, doing very well. And he was sitting around a table not unlike this. And the guys were talking about going after work that he didn't quite agree with. And he thought at that moment, different than most with their name on the door, he said, you know what, this is my time. I need to go. And he set a deal forth with the guys to be able to have them buy him out and create an employee-owned company. And that's how the company originally became employee-owned, and it stays that way to this day.
Nice. The thing I like about the construction industry so much, and that's industrial construction, anything, I guess, pocketed in this region, is you see a lot of ESOPs, a lot of employee-owned companies. And I think it's because there's so much labor that goes into legacy, especially in the construction space. And I see it all the time. These people build these businesses, like you said, with a truck. It starts out with a truck and I'm going to get a couple of jobs and then fast forward. And one thing that I've noticed is I think because of that kind of blue collar to now ownership mentality, it becomes cultural. And then what happens is there becomes almost a passion for people. They see those people as family, and you see a whole lot of that in the industry. I think probably more than most industries, construction and this industrial space seems to be a very ESOP prone industry. And I think two-pronged, right? It's a great way to do that, continue the legacy of your company, but also I think it's rooted in they love people, right? People love the folks that are working inside the business.
Absolutely. And, with these projects, you're on these projects for years at a time, and you really do develop a relationship with the owners, with the subcontractors, with sometimes the end users. And it's honestly the best way to do business. And you turn into, for us, repeat customers that continue to come back to us and work with us over decades. We're grateful for that. And I think it's, to your point, a testament of the interest to really try to make a family out of the work that you do. And still, you got to make a profit, of course. It's a business. But there's definitely ways to do that while still really focusing and caring about people.
Yep.
Awesome. So talk to me, about your background. So what is it that led you to Bartlett Cocke, and then tell us kind of your genesis story as to how you got into business and what you're doing today.
Well, I'll say that, my journey to construction has been a winding road. And unlike most people, I was very fortunate that out of college, I was able to get the dream job that I wanted. And I grew up in Austin, went to University of Texas, played football there.
Nice.
For those interested, Mac Brown's first 4 years came in and had some instant success with Mac Brown and Major Applewhite, Ricky Williams. That was my freshman year watching a Heisman Trophy winner And just a great way to start college football in a hometown that I grew up in.
A little spoiled, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. It's good problems to have. So
that's right.
After 4 years at UT, where did well, but not as well as I honestly wanted to. And it wasn't a guy that was supposed to necessarily go to the NFL, or it was a slam dunk, but I had I'd say I'm always one who likes the challenge, and took advantage of the opportunity that I had, and was fortunate to have a chance to get on as a free agent with the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
And spent my first 2 years with the Packers. That was back in the day, the Brett Favre years with the Packers. And that was 2002. And after 2 years with the Packers, went on and played 3 years with the Cincinnati Bengals, the Carson Palmer, Ocho Cinco, Johnson & Johnson era there, and Marvin Lewis, one of my favorite coaches. And then finally finished up with the Atlanta Falcons. And that wasn't quite as good. That was the year Bobby Petrino came and didn't quite finish the season out with us. And so that was my
second podcast.
Yeah. We'll catch that on another show.
After hours, Gold Coast Grove show.
Yeah, right, exactly.
A late night show. Yeah.
So, but honestly, for me, it's an all or nothing type of deal to be able to play at that level. And for me, I had done everything I could do,
right,
and left happy and satisfied with the career. 17 years straight of playing football, and. And then after that, I actually met my wife in college, important part of the story there. So we met at UT and got married in 2007, 777. So now you can't forget my anniversary now.
Yeah.
And so after retiring in 2008, took about 2 years off just to kind of heal up in some cases and figure out, what do you do when you're not playing football?
Yeah. Yeah. That's that. Yeah. It's got to be a weird thing.
It was, the way sports is it's a job and an identity.
Right.
And so in my case, I had to honestly decide, do I give up this identity and create a new one? Or do I try to do what other guys do, and I'm going to do the camps and I'm going to make coach or who knows what? But for me, it was a page turn moment. So I was fortunate at that in 2010 to be able to start at the Greater Houston Partnership, and just a fantastic organization, still is. And things they do for Houston gave me a really great understanding of the city and an appreciation of all the parts that make up a city and the people who are key to those transitions that we need to make to stay competitive around the country and the world. And after 5 years there as the BD manager, as well, BD director, I should say, for memberships there, I had a semester left in college before I went to the NFL. So I actually went back to school and finished my degree at UT. So I was an old guy on campus, which was crazy, man, going back to campus.
Yeah, I bet.
35 years old. I show up with a notepad and I'm in class, and I'm hearing all this clicking and typing. I'm thinking something's weird. I'm doing something wrong.
What's going on right now?
And finally I realized I'm the only person with a pen and a pad. Everyone else is typing onto an iPad or something. So a week later I got my iPad. Didn't want to stick out. It's the old guy, but it was great. Went back, UT lifetime scholarship for athletes, which is awesome. Whole nother conversation as well, maybe parents, things to know. Scholarship's one thing, lifetime scholarship's another thing. You get to come back and finish in case you get an opportunity to go do something else. So
that's awesome. Wow, that's amazing.
Yep, it was great. Finished the degree, and then ended up going and similarly doing BD for an aerospace company here in Houston, ATech Inc. Great company as well. Tried my hand at a pseudo HR, organizational development for software. And essentially, the way I describe it is I kind of did in my 30s what a lot of people did in their 20s.
Right.
Kind of figuring out, always business development was the salient aspect of it, but just what industry, how do I fit into this? How does this really work for me long term? And I would say that, after recently working at a med tech company, I stepped back and realized that, okay, I got to grow. I got to pick something here to an extent. The resume is difficult for people that didn't do something like this. It starts to seem like, does he know what he's doing? And so I did.
Was it tough figuring out that no matter what industry you're in, you can't tackle people at the water cooler?
Man, that actually was a thing.
Office linebacker?
Do regret there are some folks that would have benefited from it. getting a chance to tackle them in the
I
office
was just
there.
thinking.
Yeah.
But
Some direct feedback. If you-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Clear feedback.
I'm
So,
sorry.
yeah,
that
right.
is.
Am I the only one that the office line? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Terry or whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the best commercials
Terry-
ever.
Yeah,
Terry Tate, office linebacker.
yeah, there you go.
Absolutely,
Okay,
man.
cool.
Absolutely.
Kill a joke, you make some mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Woo!
I regret that a lot. As a matter of fact, I do. I wish I could still hit people occasionally.
Yeah.
I will say.
Okay.
But now it would put me in the hospital probably more than it would them. So I definitely refrain these days.
That's fantastic. So talk to us about what you've gleaned from your time having pivoted to construction. What are the things that jump out to you about the industry, the people, the things that you're seeing, and the opportunities that exist?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, that time to step back, construction really became clear as an industry. One, it's a great industry. The economics of it are fantastic. This area specifically,
Sure.
We have tremendous amount of opportunities for all different types of construction. I love more than anything the team aspect. At my core, I'm a team guy. That's how I was born and raised. Obviously, sports for such a long time. And what I love about construction is you can't do anything alone. As a BD person in this role, yes, I may find an opportunity, but it's going to take a village to get that thing through all the circles that it needs to go through to finally be submitted, won, and complete that project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly, above all else, that's what I love about it. It's just a super team aspect. And then it's a very blue collar industry. It's a lot of people that care about what they do. There is not a lot of room for not caring about what you do and the type of work that we do.
Sure.
Safety is paramount. And you have to ensure that as you go to work every day that you're locked in and you're focused on what you do so that everybody goes home the way that they showed up to work.
Yeah, I think interesting point there about construction and BD. Oftentimes BD or sales folks get characterized as, solo players, right? They're out here and they do it for themselves. I've got a sales goal. I've got to go hit. I bring it in. That's what I do. I'm out of here. The construction demands that the BD and sales people are part of the team, right? Oftentimes we talked about this earlier for the show that you've had folks that are in these quasi kind of hybrid roles too, but just for that exact reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's sales, pre-con are almost very interrelated, right? Because you're doing to give the project over to the operations team. So I think it's interesting that this is where you've found a home because you were in BD for such a long time. You're like, maybe I like this job, but I need a more team environment, and construction's offered that. So I love to hear that story. It's great.
Yeah.
It's an interesting crossing point, I think. So
you guys joined the Economic Alliance. You're kind of really kind of carving out a new territory for yourself in this space, and then also for the organization in this space. What is it about what you guys do specifically, and then how you felt it was a fit for our organization, what's happening over in the Port region, the things that we're focused on? Where's the overlap there, and where do you see Bartlett Cocke really shining in this space?
Well, Bartlett Cocke has a history of working with industrial customers that populate this area. Valero, CP Chem, Chevron are previous customers of ours. We actually had a group, some people may recognize BCI, Bartlett Cocke Industrial. We've now simply rolled that into the overall brand and provide the same services under that umbrella. Okay. And so, understanding the safety concerns that come with working inside the fence as well as just around these type of facilities. But we see this area as critical to Houston's growth. Obviously, the imports that are coming through, this is the jumping off point for getting those goods into our region and getting them to all the places that people want them to be. And overall, we feel like we want to support that. And we want to do our part to be able to contribute to the overall success of the region, and then specifically to customers that are looking to put up new projects and invest in their own right here in this region. We want to help them with, in our case, construction services, as well as, the pre-construction part, the planning, the design, all of that. We want to be a part of helping people achieve their goals and get them where they want to be.
Great. And so, and being new, I guess, not new, but being that you're carving out space with BD in this region and in your role in construction, how have you found organizations like this and other organizations that serve the space to help you when it comes to understand the industry, the trends, perhaps where you need to place your efforts and your energies? How have you leveraged some of the things that these organizations do, specifically Economic Alliance, to help you in your personal growth?
Yeah, I think you said it well. The understanding of information, the people that the Economic Alliance brings together, our participation last year in the Gulf Coast Industry Forum, even something like the annual meeting, the procurement breakfast events, even just playing around the golf, the people that you meet, the quality of people that this organization is able to bring because of what they've done for such a long period of time is first off giving you a great network, but then also being able to help you get the information to really understand the full scope of what this this region, the economics around this region are just the region are equivalent to many states or surpass many states that we have in the country.
Yep.
So being able to try to wrap your mind around what that looks like and be in front of the opportunities for us, if it hits the newspaper, it's too late. So to have a chance to be on the front end of earning the trust of the individuals that populate the Economic Alliance and other similar organizations like this, so that we can have an opportunity to be on the front end when it's site selections, when they're just thinking about maybe even coming here and what that looks like, to be a part of that conversation and to ultimately be able to assist at a very early point.
You found the right organization. We have our kickoff every season with Chad, and that's what we talk about. Chad's goals for the organization, Chad Burke, are to find out when companies or organizations or projects are coming to life, right? And that's a 5-6 year process.
Exactly.
Right. So, hey, we want to come to Houston, we want to come to Port Region, we want to do this, we want to build this. So being a part of this organization, you do, quite literally get a little bit of a heads up. And that's all construction folks want, right? Want to get a heads up, want to know about it, start working those relationships and understand how it comes together. So that's good. I was going to ask, just in case there's folks, and I am familiar, but there are folks that may not, give me what Bartlett Cocke builds in the region. I've been familiar. You said that some of the customers, I know you use some of the maintenance work in those facilities as well. But what are you building primarily now? What are you targeting?
So we are vertical construction, and so for us right now, we have multiple projects throughout the region. We have for a long time worked on the A&M campus, so kind of starting from the furthest coming in. We've done a tremendous amount of work on the Rellis campus. We have a project right now. We're going to have a ribbon cutting soon coming up for a Ballistic Aero Optics materials facility, which is not our bread and butter, but
or anybody's probably
probably not. It's actually one or two in the country of those type of facilities.
Wow.
But it dictates the trust that they have in us in that particular area and the pedigree that we bring. Then coming in, we have projects. We're finishing up in Victoria. We have projects out in Port Arthur. We have a project kicking off at U of H downtown that'll be coming out of pre-construction soon enough and getting a construction phase for an addition and renovation. Projects in Texas City, Dickinson. We've had projects out in Galveston, Fort Bend. We've had projects all throughout the region. We do build schools. We build commercial, industrial, education, civic as well, are areas that we focus, and we have some healthcare work as well. And what I would say is the right customers for us are folks that want to keep what they're building. We are invest in themselves. So when an organization wants to put this new flagship building up, their main building on the site, that's a great project for us. And the way that we're structured and the way the company has grown as far as how we're going to approach populating a project, those are the right customers for us and turn into institutional clients in a lot of cases. And so, I would say finish by saying just what we're looking for now is to be able to work largely with the manufacturing and industrial projects that are going on in this region. And, complicated, it's perfect. Probably the more complicated, the better that it gets for us.
Good.
Rather than maybe the tilt wall, at least sign on it before it's done. There are companies that are really great at that and have a really great opportunity to make a good profit doing that. For us, we're better off when you're going to stay in it and it's yours and you have some complexity that you need worked out.
I never remember seeing you guys in the blast resistant space, right? The lab control room kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So that's good work. And all these sites, no offense to our lovely members, a lot of these sites are older and need some upgrading. And a lot of times I know, because I've worked in that space, they're taking some of these buildings and moving them a little further away from potential danger, right? So new buildings that are they're blast resistant, tolerance to go up and all that kind of stuff. I know you guys were all involved in that, and that's great work. I mean, it's literally changing the way these plants and refineries do business, right? So, and certainly from a safety perspective, potentially saving lives. So that's great. It's good stuff.
So, Marcus, as we kind of get ready to get close to wrapping up, can you highlight any major things that Bartlett's got coming up that you want to make sure we touch base on, and any significant personal things that you want to share in regards to your own development or things that are taking place with you?
Well, I'd say for Bartlett, I'd want to highlight, I talked about some of the projects that we have. I'd want to express that we're hiring, or, relative to the projects that we have going on. For folks out there listening, if you're looking
Sorry,
for
we buried the lead on that one. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. In this industry, as I would say, it's specifically superintendents, assistant superintendents, MEP, QC, estimators, project managers. We're growing fast, and we're hiring not only in this region, but we're focused on now, but also as well in Austin and San Antonio. So I'd want everybody out there job hunting. If you can't look for me. Leslie Conley leads that effort. You can find her on LinkedIn, and please do reach out. If you're looking for work, we'd love to have a chance to talk to you.
General contractor, but any self-perform work? So do you self-perform folks?
We do
too?
self-perform some work, absolutely.
Okay.
So we do have some divisions that we will self-perform as well.
Good. Yeah, we have an international audience, so I'm sure this will reach several 10 people. So
at least 10.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been known to push 20.
Yeah,
on a good,
nice.
good
That's
streak. So,
nice.
yeah.
It's all based on the guests. It has nothing to do with us. So.
Well, with Marcus,
When Mark's forwards to his family,
I'll get you at least 5.
Yeah,
That's
at
right.
least,
We'll get you plus 5.
Plus 5. But Marcus is
Plus
plus 5.
five.
Maybe we can get Mac Brown to listen one time.
Yeah, Mac Brown.
Because Marcus is on there, He's not doing much right now.
So you were going to share maybe personal or professional highlight, something that you want to
Yeah, personally, as a parent, you're always focused on your kids. So
Right.
I've got, I'm actually a head football coach. I don't know if you knew this or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm the head football coach of the 10 to 11 K5 Sugarland flag football team.
Cool,
So,
right.
sweet.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's a big opportunity
Yeah,
here. But so I've got a 10-year-old, 15-year-old. My son just turned 15. My youngest one just broke his thumb, so we got the first broken bone for him.
Okay.
He's my rough and
More to
tumble
come.
future first round draft
So
pick. He
broken
tells me.
bone before lost tooth or lost tooth?
No,
first?
he's 10. So
Oh,
we
okay. Oh, he's 10.
lost.
Okay,
We did all the
okay.
teeth thing,
All right.
but now, we got a couple more to work through. But
Got it.
and then, so again, just proud of the kids. My wife, we've been married now for 18 years.
Wow.
And so, man, it's been great. I think I got that right, though.
Well, you're doing it right, Marcus.
Yeah.
Man, we are so glad to have you. So excited to have you as part of not only the organization, but really part of the family that is in this industrial
Community,
construction
for sure.
region, right? So great addition. A great addition to the team, man. So we're excited to have you as part of that. And so, as always, and real quick, if anybody wants to reach out to you, they got some questions. What's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Easiest way is reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Cool.
I think everybody got a LinkedIn account at this point, so just hit me up on LinkedIn.
Marcus Wilkins, Wilkins.
Yes, sir.
There you go. And so make sure you reach out. And as always, gang, we want to thank you for tuning in. We're big fans of Marcus, big fans of you, and thankful that we have such a great region where you can get out, let your voice be heard, plug into the organization, and then also go do business. So we encourage you to always take these episodes, pay them forward, put them in the hands of somebody who needs to hear it. We are all serving one mission, which is to help grow a vibrant economy here in this region, help create jobs and opportunities. That's right. That's what we're here to do every day. This show is just a vessel and a vehicle of that. And so please, if you want to tune in to connect with myself or Zeke Smith, Jason Lee, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn to plug into us. If you have any questions or potential guest ideas or comments, we'd love to hear from you. And if not, we'll see you guys next week.